Today, we are diving nose first into what might be our most mysterious and powerful sense, smell. It's so much more than just pleasant or unpleasant. It's a direct line to our past, a key that can unlock memories we didn't even realize we had.
So have you ever caught a whiff of something? I don't know, maybe rain on hot pavement or a specific perfume, and you're just instantly transported back to a moment you thought you'd totally forgotten? It's this wild, universal experience, this kind of sensory time travel. So what's actually happening here? Why is smell, of all things, so uniquely tied to our deepest memories? Well, let's find out.
Okay, picture this, the smell of freshly baked cookies, right? For most of us, that doesn't just register as a nice aroma. No way. It zaps you right back to your grandma's kitchen, and you can practically feel what it was like to be a kid again. Now, this isn't just some fuzzy nostalgia. This is straight-up neuroscience at work. So deep inside our brain, there's this little structure called the hippocampus. You can think of it like a memory librarian. Its whole job is to take a scent and file it away, but it doesn't just file the scent. It attaches it directly to a specific memory and whatever emotion came along with it. But, for the brain to do its filing magic, that smell has to get there first.
To really get why smell has this incredible power, we first have to follow its journey from the outside world deep into our brain. And trust me, it's a way more physical process than you probably think.
So everything you can smell, from coffee to a rose, is constantly releasing these tiny little molecules called odorants into the air. When you breathe in, those molecules travel up into your nasal cavity. There, they get trapped and dissolve in a thin layer of mucus. And that right there, that's the crucial step that allows them to be detected by our specialized smell cells. And yeah, this quote might be a little gross, but it's not just for shock value. It perfectly illustrates that these odorants aren't some abstract idea. They are actual physical particles of the thing you are smelling. It's an unbelievably direct connection between the world around you and your own body.
Okay, so once those particles are detected, the signal needs a way to get to the brain, right? It finds a path through something called the cribriform plate. Just think of it as a bony wall at the top of your nose, and it's full of tiny little holes. It's the gateway, and your olfactory nerve fibers pass right through those holes, carrying all that precious scent information straight to the brain.
All right, so we've followed the physical particle. Now for the real magic trick. How do we turn that physical molecule into an electrical signal that your brain can actually understand? This whole process is called transduction. All the heavy lifting here is done by these incredible cells, the olfactory receptor neurons. We have millions of them lining our nasal cavity. And get this is the amazing part. Each type of neuron has only one specific kind of receptor protein. It's like a lock that only fits one particular kind of key. That's how we're able to tell the difference between thousands and thousands of different smells. So when an odorant molecule, our key, finds and binds to its specific receptor lock, it kicks off this super fast chain reaction inside the cell. This cascade generates a tiny electrical pulse, an action potential. And just like that, a physical molecule from the outside world has been translated into the language of the brain. It's amazing. And this is where it gets truly fascinating. That little electrical pulse doesn't just wander off anywhere. Nope, it takes a special, express route that literally no other sense gets to use. Here it is. This is the secret to smell's power. All of our other major senses, sight, sound, touch, all of those signals have to get routed through a part of the brain called the thalamus. It's like the brain's central switchboard operator directing all the traffic. But smell? Smell gets to bypass the switchboard entirely. It has a direct VIP line straight into the amygdala, our emotion center, and the hippocampus, our memory center. So after passing through that bony gateway, the signals hit the olfactory bulb, which is basically a sorting station. From there, these refined signals are sent directly to those core areas of emotion and memory. This unique, privileged wiring is exactly why a smell can trigger that time machine effect, that powerful, immediate, emotional memory before you've even had a chance to consciously think, oh, what's that smell? Now, this system is absolutely incredible, but it's also really delicate. And understanding what happens when it breaks down really highlights just how crucial our sense of smell is for our safety and our quality of life. The clinical term for losing your sense of smell is anosmia. A lot of people experience this temporarily with COVID, but for some people, it can be a long-term or even a permanent condition, and it has really serious consequences. Anosmia can be caused by things like infections or head trauma that damage those delicate nerve fibers. But what's really alarming is that it can also be an early warning sign for serious neurodegenerative diseases like Parkinson's and Alzheimer's. Sometimes it can show up years before any other symptoms do.
And look, anosmia isn't just an inconvenience, it's a real safety issue. You can't smell a gas leak, you can't smell smoke from a fire, you can't tell if food has gone bad, and since something like 80% of what we think of as taste is actually smell, food just becomes bland and uninteresting. It can sever that powerful, time-traveling connection to our past that really helps make us who we are.
But there is hope. There's this evidence-backed therapy called smell training that can actually help rehabilitate the system. By repeatedly and mindfully smelling distinct scents like rose, lemon, clove, and eucalyptus, patients can encourage their olfactory pathways to repair and rewire themselves. It's a pretty remarkable example of the brain's plasticity.
You see, our sense of smell isn't just some secondary sense. It is a fundamental, deeply wired part of how we experience the world. It shapes our emotions, it protects us from danger, and it holds the keys to some of our most cherished memories. It truly is a silent architect of our reality. So the question is, what memories is it waiting to unlock for you?